Hello, everybody. Happy Halloween. How are you all? I'm popping on here to do a Halloween thing, but I also want to just say that I got a clean bill of health from my eye surgeon, and she says that my retina is totally healed and looks amazing, and my other eye is fine. So, thank you everybody for all the well wishes. And wow, what a long journey that's been since June, July, August, September, October. 4 months. That's 4 months. And yet, she's like, you healed really quickly. And how does it get better than this? I know that using the access tools made a great difference. So, if anybody has questions about that, feel free to ping me. Um, yeah, so yay, I have my vision. Well, that's the back of the eye. Now, the front of the eye has a little bit of scratching from the surgery. So, they want to do yet another one. They want to do something for the cataract. So, how does it get better than this? And what magic and miracles are possible? So, being that today is Halloween, and this seems to be the one day of the year where it's acceptable to even acknowledge that ghosts exist, kind of crazy. Um, it, we facilitators of Talk to the Entities, the work that Shannon O'Hara has created to create a lot of ease in the area, and demystifying this area. It's just something that we love to share. So I am popping on. I don't have anything prepared. I'm just like, what would people like to hear about? Well, first of all, um, what would it be like for you to go to a party and nobody says hello to you? Nobody acknowledges you. Have you ever experienced that? I actually did experience that with certain in-law family occasions. I'd walk in and they would say hello to everybody else, but they wouldn't say hello to me. And it just feels really shitty. So imagine when you don't have a body any longer, but you're still around and people don't acknowledge that you're there. What would that be like? And what if, we don't have to make it significant, we don't have to make it crazy, but we're willing to look at the fact that this is a fact that when you step out of your body, you still exist. You, the being, still exist. And you still have relationships with people, and you may want to be able to work out things that you hadn't worked out before you stepped out of the body, or for them before they stepped out of their body. And this is one of the cool aspects that Talk to the Entities empowers you with, is the ability to communicate with people who have crossed over, beings, not people. They're beings, and and instead of being freaked out by it, or at the effect of it, or thinking that something bad occurs, you can actually step into what you know about what's possible for a being beyond living in a body. And beyond those beings is lots of other spirits as well. And like, be empowered with tools that allow you to communicate, receive from, clear, or cooperate with all kinds of different spirits. And one of the cool things about this is that it's not hard. It's actually easy. Even kids can learn it. But what it does is it starts to step you more into your magical capacities. And that's what I love about it. So, what if you weren't weird or crazy because you're aware of spirits, or maybe you see things out of the corner of your eye, or maybe you hear voices? What if you're not crazy? And what if it's not crazy to acknowledge your awareness? What if it's actually cool and you're not going to get burned at the stake anymore? Because, like, being a witch these days is not against the law. It's actually cool. And, it doesn't mean you have to be a witch. You can just have your magical capacities and have your ability to work with the spirit world. Part of Talk to the Entity's target is to have a world of inclusion that includes all beings and judges none. This is the consciousness of the spirit world, including all beings, judging none. And how can you make this work for you instead of having it work against you? So, Talk to the Entities was created a long time ago, and it becomes so natural to you when you start using the tools that you just become them, and then it's like not an issue anymore. It's sort of like when you first learn how to walk. You have to like concentrate and build your muscles, and then you're just walking, and then you just go. It's the same thing with Talk to the Entities. So I'm like, where do I start? Like, what are you interested in knowing, and what keeps you from stepping into this curriculum and learning the tools for yourself and being empowered? You don't have to go to a psychic medium to tell you what's in your future or who's around you or who's haunting your house or your car. You can ask the questions and use the tools yourself and save all that money. So, would it be worth investing in an introduction and a beginning workshop for you to gain the tools and the momentum in building your awareness that adds to every facet of your life? It's really interesting how, it's sort of like when you're a kid and you're like, why do I need to learn math or algebra? Like, when am I ever going to use this? But the tools of Talk to the Entities is so integral to your everyday living, and it makes your everyday living so much easier. Like, you have no idea until you step in and learn some of the things that it can enlighten for you. One thing I can share, that's just popping up right now is if you're out in a crowd or you move into a new space or an office or go to somebody's home, whatever, and you're fine, and then you walk in and all of a sudden you have a coughing attack or sneezing, this can be an entity awareness sign. And if we don't actually ask the question, like, oh, is this entities? You might start thinking, oh, I'm getting sick. And then you start creating a cold because your thoughts are that powerful. So using questions and being willing to ask and have your awareness can give you a whole lot more ease with it. And many times, you don't even need to do anything. You just acknowledge, oh, this is an entity, and your symptoms subside. And sometimes the entity is like, oh, thank you for acknowledging me. And that's all that's required. And sometimes it, it's requiring to be cleared, which is super simple as well. Um, the funny thing is, a lot of beings that don't have bodies anymore aren't that aware, and they don't realize that their body is gone. So they're stuck in this personality. And so all you have to do is go, "Hi, who are you? And who were you before this? And who were you before that? And who were you before that? And who will you be in the future?" And so you're just asking them a few questions that gets them to tap into their awareness of, oh, I was this person. And then, oh, before that, I was this. Before that, I was this. Who am I going to be in the future? It gives them the awareness that they have choice. So you're actually facilitating a being to have more choice and more awareness of what they're choosing and how they're not choosing. It's kind of cool. And then when they choose that, it's like whoosh. And you get this rush because for them, it's like this, they're no longer stuck. And you know that rush of like, whee, like going down a slide, you're no longer stuck. You can move, the energy moves, and it feels really good. And you can even turn it into a business and ask them, if I clear you, you have to pay me. And then they find a way to give you money. So it's just a couple little tidbits of what's possible with Talk to the Entities on the spooky Halloween. And I invite you to check it out. There are hundreds of Talk to the Entities facilitators, and they're all around the world in lots of different languages. And I have a Talk to the Entities introduction tomorrow, a little bit later than this time tomorrow, and a beginning class over the weekend, and it's online. So if you'd like to choose that, go to my website, get a ticket. Anybody can join the intro. You don't have to have any experience whatsoever. And anybody who has taken a bars class at any time can join the beginning class. So check it out. And if you haven't already, check out my YouTube channel. There's other videos there. And like, what would it take to include all beings without judgment, including you? Okay. Have a great Halloween, everyone.